Alright, we are back, and you know, it has been a hell of a couple days. I mean, on Friday, everyone was like, yeah, Red, yeah, well, you know what you said. And then yesterday, everyone was like, boo, boo. I'll get it, man. I mean, it really is, it feels like wrestling. It does, at this point, you know, and I'd be wrong to play up to that, though. But this is how people act. Now, before I get started in this video, I do have a couple things I want to say about yesterday's video, alright? Because it proved once again that fanboys are the worst thing to ever be created on the internet. That's what it proved. I knew that this was going to happen. I swear, if I had $1 for every time someone called me a nigger yesterday, I would be on the Forbes list. Alright? And what they fail to realize that it doesn't hurt me. Like I said before, it doesn't make me look bad. It makes you look bad when you act that way. You know, and some of you actually had the nerve to say, because you would have thought that I was the one who swatted White Boy the way, 7th Street, the way y'all made it seem. Alright, for telling the truth. Alright? When y'all come in and call me a bunch of names and everything, and then I ask you, how does this, progress the situation any? And it doesn't, and you keep doing it, then of course I'm not going to talk to you. There are some of you guys who actually said, White Boy 7th Street should be exempt from the law simply because he's a famous YouTuber. You've got to be kidding me. Like, look, reality set in. You cannot sit here and say that nobody is, higher than the law. I don't care how famous you are. If you really believe that, there is something wrong with you. And before anyone says, oh, that's just trolling, no, I looked at this guy's timeline, and he's going to all these different videos and saying, defending him constantly, well, it's okay to lie to your fans. And then like, whoa, what? Like, who the hell wants to be lied to? Who? If you're okay with being lied to, and then you tell other people, oh, well, this is misinformation. What do you care if you're being lied to? That makes no sense. See, the reason I'm bringing these things up is because, another one was, a guy had asked me, why do I have a vendetta against White Boy 7th Street? Really? A vendetta? Look, I said to him, this is the first time in all my years doing this I have ever spoke about him. Ever. And only because of the situation. And he's like, well, you called him stupid, so you must hate him. You must be a hater. So because I call somebody stupid for not taking the right precautions to cover their own ass, I'm a hater now. No, it's the truth. That's the truth, okay? That's simple, all right? Like I said, calling me a bunch of names does not solve anything simply for the fact that he still got to go to court. He got to go deal with the law. Calling me a bunch of names, that's not going to solve anything, okay? I'm telling you, and I'm talking about this simply because you have to understand, this is the maturity that we are seeing out of our community. And the entire time I'm engaging with these people, I'm thinking the entire time, they don't understand what is being said. They don't understand the context of this video. They don't understand. Because people say, oh, you're just jumping all over him. Actually, it was more against the fan base of trying to bail him out of jail. When this guy has 2 million subs and has money, and he's already, he's supposed to bail on his own. Like, it just goes to show you that they don't know what's going on. They just saw it and saw a little bit of attitude and was like, oh my God, he hates it. That's what it is. Alright? Knee-jerk reactions. And the sad part is, we see this a lot in our community now. Can you imagine? And that was just a small fragment, because now, one guy came and was like, I'm just here just to dislike the video. I haven't watched it. This goes to show you that people don't care. They don't want anybody to take responsibility. And we will talk about responsibility later, near the end of this video, because we really do need to talk about it. But it goes to show you the de-evolution of our community. No matter if you're a child or an adult, because we just saw not too long ago on Twitter, there is an adult on Twitter trying to troll other people, other gamers, over the Tomb Raider fiasco, over the exclusivity. Now, we know now that it's timed exclusive, but he's talking about how, oh, you PS4 people, ooh, you're mad because you're not getting it, boo-hoo. And the guy responded was like, why would I be mad? He was like, I'm a multi-console player. I'm a multiplayer console player. He's like, and I'm a PC player. Why would I be upset? Why would I cry? And he's like, oh, you're just mad. And this is a grown man with kids. With kids doing this. You know what I mean? Like, the de-evolution of the behavior. Like I said, whether you're a kid or an adult, the internet does not give you a free pass to act like an idiot. And I will keep calling you idiots, because apparently that's what you get mad at when I call you idiots. Well, guess what? I'm going to keep calling to you. If you act that way, that's what I'm going to call you. I'm going to label you what you are. I'm going to treat you how you are. It's that simple. I don't understand how people think that this is okay. And it's sad that we see this because now you see just a little bit of sliver. Like I said, I'm used to this, so it's not that big of a deal for me. Like I said, when people use it, when they drop the N-bomb, to me it's like I envision a game show where every time somebody drops it, they say, "Congratulations! Tell them what they've won. You're the 10 millionth person to win this, to say this, and you think it matters. You're so unoriginal. Tell him what he's won, Bob." That's pretty much how I see things. You know what I mean? How I imagine things when somebody says something. It's unhealthy to see our community turn to devolve into this, because when real issues come up, or when someone needs to be called out, you don't get that reciprocation that you're looking for. You really don't. And it's sad that this is what it's come to. Now, like I said, with social justice warriors, we've seen this every time. This is where professional victims are made because of this. Like I said, you have to not take the bait. And just because someone has a strong opinion on something and it goes against what you believe doesn't mean all of a sudden that you should just take it up to the highest notches possible. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later, because there's some news in here that's quite disturbing of what people on the internet do to other people. Alright? And it's all gaming related. It is. But it's sad. Now I do want to move on. I want to talk about EA. You know how this goes. And they're bullshit. Let's get it. So, EA. They say that we are better at listening now to the fans. Really? 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 When did EA all of a sudden get better? So, let me get this straight, EA. When you limited demo access to Madden 15 to go right to your EA access, was that listening to the fans? No, that was alienating the fans. That's what that was doing, alright? Also, for those who don't know, EA Access limits Xbox One Madden 15 Early Access trial. The trial that you will get will be only for 6 hours. That's right, 6 hours. Now, I want to move on. That's right, yeah. Because, they're listening to fans. I guess they're listening to fans on this as well. Titanfall 2, in the works. New DLC pack is incoming. Now, look. We already knew that Titanfall 2 was in the works as soon as they, released Titanfall 1 because of all the hype. They start seeing the numbers. And they said, we're going to do this. We talked about this months ago. So this is no surprise. However, a new DLC pack. Is anyone even talking about Titanfall anymore? It was supposed to be the Xbox One flagship game at the time. It lasted, 2 months and people stopped talking about it? That's what I'm saying. Like, you have to understand, these microwave games, they have to give you more longevity. And this doesn't mean keep hitting you with DLC. That's not longevity. No, that's giving you a piece by piece. We've talked about this before. Alright? But let's keep going, alright? I want to talk about more responsibility when it comes to parents. Because for those who don't know, an obsessed World of Warcraft couple is sent to prison over extreme child neglect. That's right. So you're just going to neglect your child so that you can play video games. But I guess, that's okay too. I guess if they were streaming or whatever, that would be okay because we should break the law for that. And in other people's logic, that's okay. You have to understand there's things that you need to take care of and responsibilities that you need to take care of before you decide to turn on a video game. It seems like these people have lost all sense of just say all common sense, all right? But all logic. You just can't evade responsibility simply because you want to play something. I don't know how many times we can keep talking about this. And here's the sad part. When you see fanboys defend all types of things of this nature, it doesn't have to be the biggest YouTuber. No. It can be said developer you talk about. It could be about said game you talk about. You have to understand that there are responsibilities that these people cannot escape that need to be in place before you can decide, oh, I'm going to trash the fan base, or you're going to see that a lot today. You're going to see it. Okay? But I'm just saying that is what you do when you hold people responsible. These parents should be held responsible. And they are. Now they're getting prison time over it. Alright? Are you gonna make any bail money for them? Huh? Is it about their situation? Because that's what a lot of people say, about, big time YouTubers, like White Boy. Oh, I felt bad about his situation, so that's why I want to donate. Alright, well, do you know how many other people's situations are just as bad? But I don't see you donating to them. No, this is about entertainment for you. That's what it is. It's selfishness. You break the law, you do the time. That's simple. And the same thing with these people. They broke the law, they're doing the time. So that's all it comes down to. However, good parents, that's right, good parents are starting to show up. And for those who don't know what I'm talking about, a dad took his gaming children to a war zone. That's right, took them to a war zone, so to put them off of war games like Call of Duty. That's right, put them off a war zone and show them This is how gun manufacturers target kids. This is a good, you know what? That dad, yeah. That's how you do things. You know what I mean? It's okay in the confines to play games if you want, but show them what's going on within those confines of those games. Show them how the marketing is happening. Show them, because that's what you want to do. You want to educate your children. You want to educate the youth. It's not everything that's about, oh, I just want to play my game and that's it. That's not what it's about. Yes, we should be having fun, but don't ignore what's going on, especially around you. That's crazy. Anyways, there is some a little bit of despicable news that's been happening, alright? Because we're talking about war zones, and I want to talk specifically to our men and women in uniform. That's right, our people that are in the military. Apparently, if you didn't know, not too long ago, a gamer who works at GameStop tried to pose as a military officer. That's right. He tried to sit and say he was part of the military and got caught by other military. And this was all done on camera.
No. Yeah, totally.
So did you get anything?
No, he's gonna have to wait until he gets home.
Is that it?
I honestly don't remember, man. I know I had a gun on my shoulder. I know I have a gun on it. He's gotta send me a picture when he gets home because my uniform is literally in the front of my closet.
On which uniform?
My camos.
Your camis?
Yeah, that's it. That's the last time I put a patch on.
Oh yeah.
Patch on your camis?
Yeah, I had to. They gave me my new patch all I did was I put it on with a pin needle because I never got the chance to put it on permanently.
Oh, you put a patch on your camis? Oh, you mean your desert camis?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the first one in my closet. Because sometimes I'll wear the pants when I have to go to base.
Just the pants, yeah.
Because I'm not going to dress in uniform as long as I'm technically not in it. But I wear the pants and the boots. So when I go in there, because I go get my hair cut at the base for free.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and they don't have to do. I don't have to get my whole head shaved like I used to either.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh well, technically you're a civvy now, so we don't have to do that if you don't want us to. I was like, it's still free though, right?
All right, they make us shave our heads. I forgot. Yeah, if you're in the Marine Corps, right?
Yeah. Well, they don't make us. It's just when they cut it for us, it's shaved. We just have to have it real short. Like how my sides are right here.
Yeah.
My whole head has to be like that. It has to be, done with a 1.
Oh.
Yeah.
What are the hair regulations for the Marine Corps again?
Not that I know of. We always had to do it with a 1 or bald.
Oh, 1 or bald. It says that.
I don't know if it says that, but I know that's what they gave me and that's what they approved. No, I told you I had a gun. That's all I remember is I have a gun on. I don't remember if I had 2 or 1. I'd have to look at the jacket again. I got customers, guys.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
First of all, you don't sew patches on your camis. That's against the Marine Corps. Just don't go on the pants.
Bro.
They go on the collars.
Bro. You know there's a law against this, right? It's called false valor, man.
It's called I have all my shit at home, so I don't really give a fuck what y'all say. Y'all can leave.
We'll leave, man, but it's false valor, man. I wouldn't say you were a Marine if you weren't a Marine.
Do you have your ID with
You're talking to 2 guys who've given. Dude, we've given so much for this country. You know that, right?
Doesn't matter.
People die, man, to get the fucking title Marine, man. We almost fucking died in boot. Are you kidding me?
It goes on your collars, not your shoulder, dumbass.
I wouldn't lie, bro. That's a shame.
A real Marine would have their ID and know the Marine Corps' birthday.
Real military don't act like that.
It's pretty safe to say that guy is going to lose his job. But the question still begs, why did you lie to military personnel? Why did you lie to consumers, the customers, right there on camera? Why did you lie? To be accepted? That doesn't make any sense to me. You're doing a job, you have a job. I don't understand why you're vying for someone else's respect in that nature that you have to lie. This is bad as the one fanboy had said, when I talked about it earlier. Oh, it's okay to lie to your fans. No one will ever tell you the truth if all you ever believe in are lies. It's that simple. I don't understand this. But I do want to move on. That's right. I want to talk about Nintendo. Nintendo hits a new milestone with 1 million Mario Kart 8 sales and 40 million 3DS software sales. That is quite a feat, Nintendo. But you still have a long mountain, a high mountain to climb. You do. However, Mario Kart 8 selling 1 million, that's pretty damn good. It is. I do want to move on, and I want to talk about Assassin's Creed, because I'm going to come back to Nintendo, or should I say Capcom Nintendo factor later, okay? I will talk about Nintendo a little bit more. AC Unity will have microtransactions. That's right, Ubisoft says this, and they are saying that apparently, it's not going to hurt the game. However, Ubisoft has come out and said to gamers, anybody who thinks, the gamers that are saying that Assassin's Creed, there's way too many Assassin's Creed games coming out this year, you're the vocal minority. Yeah, that's what they said. Now, I will put it like this. Alright, this is what happens when you make a company big. Then they start slandering you. And it's amazing how they use, that hot button buzzword, vocal minority. You notice ever since the whole Devil May Cry issue, this is when it was being used. This is when it came up. Now, all of a sudden, everybody's bought into it, the label consumers. If you haven't realized that. Every time somebody comes out and says something, oh, it's just a vocal minority. If you haven't realized that. They are playing you for a fool. But people will still listen to them and still buy their stuff, right? Right? I mean, this is what it comes down to. You're still going to play Watch Dogs. You're still going to go out and buy Assassin's Creed. Right? I mean, that's what this is all about. Anyways, I want to move on. The Last Guardian. I'll talk about this real quick. It is making great progress, people are saying, but it may not show up at Tokyo Game Show. So, as we thought at E3, when I said, if they don't show The Last Guardian, to calm down, because people were like, if they don't show it, we're going to riot. If it's canceled, we're rioting. And what I say, calm down. They'll probably show it at Tokyo Game Show. Now we're seeing they may not show it at Tokyo Game Show, but there is progress. So at least we have some type of report on what's going on with it, okay? The Evil Within. I have to talk about this, because I was looking forward to the Evil Within, and now a Season Pass has been announced. I will sit and wait for the Game of the Year edition. And a lot of people will say, well, the event, that's probably like a year away for a whole collection. Yeah, I can wait. I can wait. Not a big deal. That's the thing. When they do things like this, it doesn't make me say, oh, I'm missing out. No, because that's the peer pressure they put on you. You have to have this right now, or you'll be missing out, or you're out of the loop. No, it's your loss that I'm not buying it right away. And I was going to buy that first day, too. But it seems like can't do that now because they're going to just keep chunking on DLC after DLC. I'm not paying for a pass. On top of DLC passes, Shadow of Mordor, DLC passes also been announced. It'll sell for $25. Do you realize that there is already a list of games, an already outdated list of games that have season passes? You can't keep buying season passes, not just regular DLC, no. We are talking your game and then buying season pass afterwards. So now they're tacking on another $20, $30, maybe $40. Which is ridiculous. They do not need to keep doing this. And I've seen a lot of people say, well, companies need to make money. You've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. Companies don't need to make money. Give us a full product. People will buy it so that you can make a sequel. It's that simple. But we already know when they hype things to the moon, if you've ever seen the chart of, how much people make in this industry when it comes from developers all the way up to PR and business, it's ridiculous. Companies need to make money. They're making money, all right? Mostly publishers make a lot of money. Businessmen make a lot of money, which they shouldn't because they're just the middleman. The developers are putting in hard work, and they say, hey, we're contracted with X amount of stuff that, the publisher wants us to do. That's all it comes down to. Companies don't need to make money. Companies got money. As long as they don't absolutely blow it, you know what I mean? Then there won't be a problem. But you have to be kidding me that this is happening. Like I said, this is the phase that we're seeing now. It's not just DLC anymore. It's DLC passes. They hit you with a chunk of it. And people are saying, but you're saving money. First off, you don't understand the concept, do you? You shouldn't have to do this to begin with. That's what I'm trying to get to. And for anybody who says, oh, you're just poor, you don't want to pay DLC, I've already showed you my place. You know what I'm saying? So don't sit there and say that. I already showed you my place. Like I said, no one ever lived comfortably by just excessively just burning money left and right. You want to support something, but you want the companies to be honest with you as well. And they're not being honest with you. They're just trying to milk you along for what it is. Like I said, I will wait. Just like how Batman was. Remember when Batman was like, wait for the Game of the Year edition. And then we start getting Game of the Year editions. Then all of a sudden, it became a trend. Everyone has a Game of the Year edition now. Because gamers started smartening up and saying, hey, look, we're just going to wait. Because in a couple months, the price is going to drop anyway. Or we can just wait for a year or so. And guess what? They'll give you all in complete pack. A complete pack. We've seen this. Just have a little bit of patience. That's all you got to do. I'm sure you have a backlog, because you're gamers. So you should have a huge backlog anyway to keep you busy. Just saying. You know, unless you're one of those gamers who always trades in their games. Then it's a whole different story. But, I'm going to move on. Alright? I want to talk about Xbox One, PS4, Street Fighter. That's right. Capcom says that it's eventually going to get it. That's right. They're eventually going to get it. But the Wii U won't. Okay. I have to ask this. Capcom, you know, for a company who's losing money, because you're losing money, right? And we've already proven that you aren't losing money and that you're not, you know, in any really big trouble. But you're losing money. Why aren't you trying to, you know, expand your base when it comes to Street Fighter? Why wouldn't you bring it to the Wii U? It would bring more sales. But you're losing money, right? Okay, you know what? We're going to keep going with that. Because Capcom, they gave the Drake vs. Lil Wayne app the Street Fighter treatment. You got money for that, Capcom, but you don't have money to push development for the Wii U. And don't tell me it doesn't have an install base. Don't tell me that. Come on, Capcom. You got to do better than this. All right? I want to talk about more Nintendo news. Okay? For those who don't know, we talked about it last week. Robin Williams, you know, he took his own life. Gamers have made a petition for Nintendo to honor Robin Williams in their, I would think it would be a Zelda game, you know, to, you know, give him an immortal treatment in one of their games. And Nintendo came out and, you know, responded to that and said, you know, it's tragic what happened, but we're not going to comment on this, you know, just yet. Right now the situation is still a little bit too close to home. It's still a little bit too touchy. Now here's the problem that I'm having, not with Nintendo, but with gamers in general. For those who don't know, for an update, when I talked about it last week, about Robin Williams at the end of the video, and I said I can only imagine what Zelda Williams is going through. Zelda Williams has now quit Twitter simply for the fact that gamers, or just idiots in general, alright, started sending her, on Twitter, fake pictures of her dead father. Yeah, because that's very adult. That's very manly. That's very mature of people to do. This is what I mean. The immaturity comes back and hits us tenfold every time. And now I know a lot of people are going to say, well, maybe it wasn't gamers. Alright? But you have to understand that this immaturity runs rampant within, like I said, grown men here and children. It's the internet in general. Trolling, whatever. For some reason, people keep thinking that this is cool. I don't understand where that's a form of entertainment. I don't get it. You know, it's one thing if it's light, subtle trolling. It's like, okay, it's fine. You know, that's fine. You know, because you're really, you know, you're poking, you know, ribbing somebody. Okay, fine. You know what I mean? But when you do something that nasty and that heinous, there is no reason for you to even be on the computer. You really should just have your rights revoked, as far as I'm concerned. There's no reason for you to purposely try and upset someone that badly, and just for, you know, entertainment. Yeah. That seems to be the thing these days. Everything hides under the entertainment shield. We've talked about that before. You know, it's sad that we're seeing this. I want to move on, and I want to talk about Silent Hills. That's right. For those who don't know, Kojima and Guillermo del Toro are teaming up to do Silent Hill. And the thing is, it is a PS4 exclusive. Well, I won't say exclusive, but it's coming to the PS4. I would think it's exclusive, the way they're talking about it. But Kojima comes out and says, you know, people want to play this game, especially for those who have not seen the trailer for it. I'll put the link in the info bar with the article. All right, you know, it's, you know, you can download it right now on, I believe, the PSN for the PS4. But Kojima goes on to say that people want to play this game, but they don't have a PS4. Well, maybe you should make it for the PS3 as well. You know, we've seen so much when the PS3 came out, how much Sony supported the PS2 for a very long time after that. And it seems like now that we're seeing all these games for the PS4, they're dropping a lot of support for the PS3. Now, of course, we haven't seen anything yet that says, you know, this is coming to PS3 or not coming to PS3. But, so far, it's only announced for the PS4. If fans do want this game, I advise that you push Kojima, you know, and Konami, because that's what it really is. It's Kojima, Konami. You push them to get this on the PS3. Or any other multiplayer, for that case. If, you know, because we don't know if it's going to be multiplayer. We don't know. It's Konami. So far, all we know is that it's for the PS4. And it's just, so far, it's an exclusive. That's all we know. So hopefully, fans, if you want it for the PS3, hey, bother the hell out of them, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, you have to think. People will see it as bothering them. They will see it as big support. That's how they have to look at it. If there's a demand, and if fans want it, and they say they're going to buy it, and they'll buy it, then hey, do it. What's the problem? I'm not trying to hear, oh, just resolution-wise. Look, the way they're talking, they're making truly scary horror. It does not matter about resolution at that point. It doesn't. Okay? Now, I want to move on. I want to talk about Phil Fish. Phil Fish. Yeah. For those who don't know, Phil Fish came out and said that gamers, he went on another internet tirade, which makes no sense because didn't this guy just quit not too long ago, the industry? Now he's coming out and saying that people, he wanted to ask people what they wanted, and they said Fez 2. Now that you know that people want Fez 2, you're telling gamers they don't deserve Fez 2. Phil Fish, you're not going to do Fez 2 because you're scared to do Fez 2. That's what it comes down to, alright? You got lucky with this one, and we saw the comparisons to other games when it came to Fez, the original Fez, and pretty much looked like a blatant ripoff. We saw that. So, as far as I'm concerned, since you quit before, and now you're quitting this game, it seems like everything you do, you quit. You're a quitter. That's what you are. You're a quitter. So, as far as I'm concerned, don't say anything. How about this? If it's too much for you, because it seems like these days, all he wants is negative attention. That's all he does. Get off the internet. If you can't handle it, get off the internet. Take a cue from Zelda Williams. She was like, literally, I do not blame her. She was just like, fuck Twitter. Fuck the internet. I don't blame her. I don't. But Phil Fish can do the same thing, and he won't. Because there's too many connections that he still has with the industry. Whether it becomes, other developers or social justice warriors or whatever. Now he's trying to play civil rights leader on Twitter about the whole Ferguson thing. Stop. Stop. You can't be this outlandish towards gamers and then all of a sudden turn around and try to be some type of civil rights icon. It's not going to work. And have all your fans, which I'm still surprised that he still has people who follow him, alright, retweet him all day. I will put it like this. There is no reason, Phil Fish, you need to speak on this issue. Simply for the fact, not because you can't speak on the issue, because as we know, people have a right to speak whatever they want. However, Phil Fish, the way you act, this doesn't add up. It almost seems like you just want to be attention-getting. Or you're being two-faced. 1 minute, you want to curse people out. The next minute, you want everyone to come together and see such a great atrocity. And that you want to, have, faith in people. And that, and he goes on and talks about how the police are, they're horrible and fuck pigs. And yeah. So I don't understand Phil Fish other than he just needs to be quiet. Phil Fish is, I'll put it like this, he's a poor man's Cliffy B. That's what he is, as far as I'm concerned. Now I do want to move on, and I want to talk about more social justice and, the warriors and everything. We have seen a lot as of late come out. And Kotaku came out not too long ago and made an article about couples who cosplay as video game players. That's right. And apparently it disgusted them that a couple cosplayed as The Last of Us and decided to kiss each other while they were having a picture taken of them. And they got disgusted by it. This is what the picture looked like. Kotaku, is this the best thing you can write? I mean, who are you to tell people what they can cosplay as? I mean, I'll put it like this. Would you have had a problem with it if it was Mario and the Princess? Would you have had a problem with it if it was Mario and Bowser? How about Mario and Luigi? This is a couple. These are adults, alright? No, regardless what the characters were in the game, they are adults. Can you not see the difference? That woman is not a little girl. Okay? So I don't understand what you're having a problem with. It seems more what this article is about is their personal problem with being able to stomach this, as opposed to couples who are doing this. It's not their fault that you have a problem with it. And you should know if you have a problem with it, too bad. Isn't this what Kotaku's all about anyway? I mean, we've seen this time and time again with them, in their social, justice. Well, if you don't like that women are on the uprise, then you should be ashamed of yourself. And all these other things that you see. They always play this moral stance. So we have seen media go from reporting about our game releases and reviews into this trying to be real journalistic aspect, which fails because they're not good at it. You've got to be kidding me here. This is something that should not be, and I put it this. The writers should be ashamed of themselves for sitting here and trying to tell people how they should cosplay as. You should be ashamed of yourself. Where does it stop? Alright? That's what I'm saying. Should we get two guys together and have them do it as a couple? Would that disgust you? Because if that doesn't disgust you, Kotaku, or any other aspect, or any gender, or whatever, if that doesn't disgust you, this shouldn't disgust you as well. Would have been different if it was Toad and Yoshi? It doesn't matter. It doesn't. But because you decided to pick these characters, and you had nothing else to write about that day, it seems, this is bothering you. You should be ashamed of yourself. You should look at yourself in the mirror. This has nothing to do with couples. Alright? They're doing their thing. This is about you. And I want to talk more about this journalism that we're seeing as of late. One-way journalism. For those who don't know, I need to talk about this. The Huffington Post talked about disturbing new trend of Grand Theft Auto 5 and virtual rape. Now, for those who don't know what's going on with Grand Theft Auto 5, okay, there's some people that are making some hacks, some mods, where they can actually make, they can actually rape you in the game. And you can do nothing about it. And they can talk to you in a headset, apparently. And, yeah, and have them dancing on stripper poles or something like that. Like, apparently a number of players have run into this problem, and they're very upset. All right, and these are gamers doing this. First off, I don't understand why gamers, once again, are taking it this far. You don't need to. And this just gives more fuel to the fire for social justice, It does. However, this article, is a one-way article, and it is full of fallacies. And I'll put it like this, because they go on and talk about this. And the people who did this hack and everything, they actually put up the video game footage on YouTube. That's right, they put on YouTube, for laughs and say, hey, this is what can happen, okay? That was up there. And the writer goes on and talks about how this is bad. You know the whole spiel by now. It's bad, it's disgusting, blah, 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 blah. That's what it is, right? However, when you click on those videos, what the writer fails to address, and this is what I mean about being a one-way journalism, one-way street, does not show on both sides of the fence. What it fails to address is when you click on those videos, which are in the article, the videos have been flagged down. That's right. The videos have been flagged down. You want to know why they're flagged down? Because gamers flagged them down. So let's blame gamers for making this, making these mods and, trying to rape people in a virtual world. But let's not give gamers credit for saying, hey, this is too much, enough is enough. We're going to flag you down and take you down. This is what I mean, people. One-way journalism. That's all they do. And they talk about how this is happening in other games as well. So, like I said, it's a one-way piece where it just makes gamers look bad, but doesn't give them the credit for standing up and policing our own. I don't know, man. This is how things are going. And with the maturity of this community, it's going to keep going this way. And we're starting to see more, and I know a lot of people want me to talk about it. This is all I'll say on the issue. This Zoe Quinn fiasco, okay? This controversy that's going on. Now, for those who don't know what I'm talking about, I will put the link in the info bar. Internet Aristocrat did a great video on this. This is why I'm not going to talk about it much, because he pretty much hit every point as far as I'm concerned. Okay? So I really don't need to talk about this much. But I was so close on this aspect, was last week, when I talked about my sports video, for those sports fans who watched, when I talked about Ray Rice. And I talked about how there are good women out there, there are great women out there, loyal women out there, but there are some women that are mark of the beast. Devil will ruin your life and smile about it and laugh about it and brag about it, and they're horrible people. And they deserve jail time for the ways that they ruin people and use people to, get ahead in life. And they have no remorse for what they do. They think that's just how things are, when it's really not. And don't get me wrong, it's not just women, it's men as well. But in this case, with Zoe Quinn, understand that she has done that. She falls into that category. Now, like I said, I would suggest that you watch this video. But I see a lot of people, a lot of YouTubers, a lot of people on Twitter saying, well, I don't care about her personal relationship with her boyfriend. I care about the part of, the business. And I'll put it like this. You have to care about the personal relationship with her boyfriend, because how she treats people personally is the same way she treats people in business. Do you understand this? She uses what she has to get by. And what I mean by that is, we have seen now that she's using her body, giving out sex favors and things of that nature to get by in the industry, to keep herself relevant in the industry, to shut down information about what's going on in the industry with her. We've seen this. This is the Streisand effect, okay? We've seen this time and time again. Like I said, Internet Aristocrat really puts it down the way it needs to be put down. When I first watched this video, I was pretty disgusted by it. I was just like, this is horrible. And the thing is, this was a necessary evil of her. Because now that all the skeletons are out of the closet, you understand that this fight with gender, this fight that we're seeing, now it's losing its legs. And I say this because there's articles that have written saying this sets back women in gaming. It's not about setting back women in gaming as in women developers and things of that nature, because we've seen other people come out and say, other women developers come out and say, this is wrong. So don't think it sets them back. It doesn't. However, These social justice warriors that we see who nitpick time and time again. Just not too long ago, we saw on Facebook a girl tried to petition. She made a petition to Capcom because she wanted the dialogue in DuckTales changed because she thought it was offensive. Really? An old game like DuckTales, you want changed because it's offensive. See, when these things happen, you have to understand that the real issues when it comes to social justice and feminism and things, they get swept under the rug for things like this when it comes to, DuckTales dialogue from a game from, 20 years ago? Really? Really? Of course Capcom's not going to change it. What makes you think they would change it? Mega Man Legends fans can't even get Part 3 made for years. You think Capcom's going to listen to you to change some dialogue in an old game? Come on. Come on, man. But this is what I mean. What happened with Zoe Quinn, and the thing is, I personally think that she should be fired. I think her career should be over. Because if you know all the facts, like I said, I'll put the link in the info bar to the video so you can see all the stuff that's piling up with what she did. This is not just about her cheating on her boyfriend at all. No, not at all. Okay? There's a lot of things she's done in this industry, in this community. It damages our community. And this is a woman who did this. It damages gaming journalism, for what they want it to be. And of course, Kotaku and all these other places, you should know by now that they're not going to address this. They don't talk about trailblazing. I want to see them address it. But they're not. They're going to try to dodge the bullet. You know this. She should lose her job, and she should be ousted from her career. This should really go on her permanent record career-wise. Because it goes to show you that this is what a person did to manipulate everyone. And not, like I said, not just personally, business-wise, to get ahead, to stay relevant. This is something that should not be, celebrated in our community. No way. And of course, you have people like Phil Fish who try to defend her and everything, too. Phil Fish talks a hell of a lot like he's like a tough guy. But when you look at him, you know damn well he's not. Damn well he's not. Like I said, he's a poor man's Cliffy B. Same thing with Cliffy B when what I say to him. You going to tell gamers to suck your dick? I would love to see you say that in front of some real game, in front of their face. Like I said, this internet thing, it's like the Wild West these days. There is something wrong with people. And it seems like when you want people to be held accountable, when you want people, to be human, to be responsible, you're the one who gets bagged on for some reason. I don't get it. Anyways, I'm done. I also want to say today, I will be streaming. I will be doing, believe it or not, Superman, not 64. No. I'll be doing Superman the arcade game. Should be a short stream. I'm just going to run through the game real quick as fast as possible, just to have some laughs and try to have some fun. Because that's what games are all about.